you'll see that. He'll elevate that fastball. Slider pokes that one off the end of the bat. There's Justin Upton, 2 outs. Rodrigo Lopez. Take a look at his numbers delivered by UPS. This is the career because the last couple of years he has spent healing. Gracie, I think one of the things that jumps out for me anyway is a 15 wins a couple of times, 14 wins as well. Doing it all in the American League East with Baltimore.
That's against great lineups like the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox. Boy, he is awfully good early here. He is just nailing the outside corner with, he could do it blindfolded right now.
Well, he had to pitch well this spring. There's no doubt about it. He has done good stuff this spring as that one runs in. Lee last year had a slow start, had a slow spring, and then just steamrolled the rest of the season. His last 100 games, he dominated baseball. Let's take a look defensively, working behind Lopez. Jackson in left, the leadoff hitter. Young in center, Upton in right. It's Reynolds, Stephen Drew, and Kelly Johnson and Adam LaRoche join this organization. Miguel Montero, what a year he had. We'll talk more about the defensive work he's done all spring. Sails that one. There he is, trying to get a chase up. Now that one too far up. 2-2 the count. A lot of people started to talk about with regard to Derek Lee, Gracie, that well, after a month and a half or so last year, maybe he should think about hanging him up.
Well, I was kind of one of them, Darren. I'm not necessarily hang him up, but maybe get him out of the 3-hole. Well, for one of the very few times I was wrong, Darren.
Chris Young is tracking. Finds his spot on the warning track, ready to go. The Diamondbacks 1, 2, 3. Connor Jackson, the leadoff hitter. Stephen Drew and Justin Upton.
The Phoenix Coyotes continue their quest for the top spot in the Western Conference. They'll look to pick up another 2 valuable points as they face off against the Edmonton Oilers. Saturday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona.
Wells Fargo has been in Arizona for over 150 years. In that time, there have been a few changes around here, like paved roads, electricity, and free Wi-Fi. Wachovia is now Wells Fargo in Arizona. Together, we're one team, stronger than ever. With more locations, more ATMs, more ways we're with you. Sometimes, change is good. Wachovia is now Wells Fargo in Arizona.
Serving businesses across every industry, eSquared is your partner and single source for telecommunications and information technology solutions. eSquared can help you reel in your wireless costs by explaining carriers' complex pricing structures, reviewing and monitoring your monthly billing statements, and ensuring that you're receiving competitive pricing for your service. Doing business in Arizona since 2001. Call eSquared today to schedule a free review of your business wireless plans. And if we can't help you, we'll buy you lunch. eSquared Communications, 602-371-1500.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of AZPV Limited Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of AZPV Limited Partnership.
Diamondbacks getting ready to go to work against Ryan Dempster, the right-hander. Connor Jackson, Stephen Drew, and Justin Upton against the veteran. Skipper A.J. Hinch was able to officially brand this organization, this locker room, and this lineup as his. Last year was just survival, Southwest Airlines. And one of the things he has done, Gracie, Connor Jackson batting first for the Diamondbacks.
I don't know about you, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I think Connor can be a very productive middle-of-the-order hitter. But really, the Diamondbacks have fought for the last 3-4 years to find a leadoff hitter. I think Stephen Drew is a guy that, well, in a word, I think he's too productive to be a leadoff hitter. So Connor Jackson, a guy that's going to, home run wise, hang around, between 10 and 17 home runs, but he's an on-base percentage guy. He doesn't chase out of the zone. And you don't have to be a guy that, like Tony Womack or Devon White. That's some Diamondback fans remember them as leadoff hitters. You don't necessarily have to get on and steal bases. What you need to do is, you need to get on. Wade Boggs wasn't a base stealer, but he was one of the greatest leadoff men of all time.
Chris Young has been in that spot before. Connor Jackson to right field as the leadoff hitter. You have Gracie's thoughts. Connor shares his thoughts, batting first for the Diamondbacks.
I'm going to go out and be the player that I am, whether I'm hitting 3, whether I'm hitting 4, whether I'm hitting 1, whether I'm hitting 9. I pride myself in taking my walks. I pride myself in not striking out a lot. I pride myself in getting on base, and I think that's all that is going to help a team. For my skill set, I think fits pretty good for our team in the leadoff hole. And you know, if that's where he wants to put me, then I'm going to hit there.
Just what you said. He's
Pretty good
going
answer.
to find a way to reach.
And I heard him 3 times say team. That's what I really like to hear.
Stephen Drew takes a pitch high. Now for his team, there is certainly a lot more expected for Drew. Last year hit 261. 53 extra base hits, had 76 extra base hits 2 years ago. I'll tell you what, you have a healthy Connor Jackson batting leadoff, reaching about 38% of the time. If you get Stephen even close to what he was 2 years ago, that's a nice way to start your ball games.
I couldn't agree with you more. Stephen Drew, a guy when Connor Jackson's on base, you're going to have a first baseman holding the runner on. It's going to open up a hole for a left-handed hitter. And Stephen Drew, a guy that can pull the ball through that right side, and you're going to be first and third all day, Darren.
Drew this spring, 23 hits, a 390 spring batting average, an on-base percentage of 422 down in Tucson.
Not bad.
There's been a lot of hitting going on. That has not been at all a concern. Ian, good pitch there. 3-2 the count. From the veteran right-hander Ryan Dempster.
Had himself a nice career.
He certainly has. Has been an all-star as a member of the Florida Marlins. Has gone to the bullpen and done a nice job. Stephen gives that one a ride in the left center field. Marlon Byrd tracking into one of the deepest parts of the yard. Could be back at this yard. He hauls it in defensively for the Chicago Cubs. Alfonso Soriano, Marlon Byrd, Xavier Nady back and healthy. He was a hot topic this winter. Ramirez, Terrio Fontenot, Derek Lee, Giovanni Soto. They need a little bit more out of him offensively this year. And of course, Ryan Dempster, you said the good career last year, 11 wins and ERA just over 3.5.
Also an accomplished amateur magician, Ryan Dempster. Have you ever seen his act?
I have.
It is impressive. If you like magic, which I do, man.
Justin Upton to the right side. That one hugging the line is down. Training wheels are off as he races on around into second. A big aggressive turn for Upton, and Justin continues what has been an incredible spring. As a matter of fact, Gracie, he may be moving
uptown.
I thought you'd like that.
Oh, Darren, that's big league. Can't wait. He just swats it. He lets the ball travel. Watch how deep the ball gets in on Justin Upton, but he's still such a strong young man. Swats it over to the right side. Probably could have got 3 out of it, but that's okay. Stay at second base. You don't want to get hurt before the season starts.
Justin Upton now with that base hit, 21 this spring. He's got 6 homers, 8 walks as Adam LaRoche takes a off-speed pitch that drops in there. But Justin, 8 walks and only 8 strikeouts this spring.
I've been very impressed with his work ethic, and you know, this is a kid. We keep thinking it wouldn't be out of line to call him a veteran.
No,
he's 22, and I think we forget that. But boy, I mean, he just continues to impress, and what impresses me the most, he wants to get better. He's not satisfied as a baseball player. He wants to get better and better. He wants to be one of the greats, one of the all-time greats.
I thought that was a classic answer at his press conference. Bo Porter certainly charged with the responsibility, and he's taking it seriously of taking him to that great level.
You know, the talent is there. There's no question about that.
One of Bo's little simple things we talked about the other day. When you gentlemen play catch at any point out on grass, you wear spikes because that's what you wear in the game.
I like it.
Off speed, 2-2.
After a couple of fastballs up and in, pulled the string there on Adam LaRoche, and LaRoche way out in front of it. Boy, that's a thing of beauty right there from Dempster.
Adam, a big home run season again last year, 25 home runs. Signed this winter as a free agent with the Diamondbacks after dividing up time with Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Boston last season. Moved around several times. Breaks his bat, fly ball right. Xavier Nady an easy chance. LaRoche is retired. Justin Upton with the double.
As long as we're winding up our doing dials, let's wind them with precision. Open our throttle to even more selection and turn that saving swagger a full tilt. So when the time comes to bust open a can of doing, we've got all the tools for all the things we need to make them happen. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get Scott's Naturescapes mulch for the new lower price of just $3.88.
On April 17th, join Fox Sports Arizona as we celebrate the legacy of Pat Tillman at the 6th annual Pats Run. 20,000 runners and walkers will participate in this 4.2-mile event, which benefits the Pat Tillman Foundation. The Pat Tillman Foundation supports the educational goals of veterans, active service members, and their direct dependents through the Tillman Military Scholarship Program. To register or volunteer, go to patsrun.com.
1, 2, 3, go.
Effects has the movies. Effects has the movies. Effects has the movie. Effects. What? You getting that for show? Effects has the movies. Effects has the movies. Effects has the movies.
3 days until opening day.
Fox Sports Arizona presents D-backs baseball, brought to you by Quest. Our internet customers get free Quest Wi-Fi powered by AT&T Wi-Fi and by Blimpie, the first national sub shop to offer pretzel bread. You see, you can try the new turkey bacon cheddar on grilled pretzel bread or pair any Blimpie sub with this craveable new bread option. You know, Blimpie is America's sub shop.
You got all that in before the first pitch of this inning. That's impressive. Now, that's a big league sandwich. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yes.
Blimpie, right?
Yes.
And it should be if you're going to have to read that much.
It is good. It is worth the 4-page read that I just did. It was wonderful. It's a good sandwich. Love the pretzel bread. Aramis
Didn't think
Ramirez.
you'd have to read War and Peace about it, but
no long balls this spring. As you can see, hitting .250 out front. No balls and 2 strikes to Aramis Ramirez. As we continue to get to know at least the National League version, the Diamondbacks version, a veteran right-hander, Rodrigo Lopez. Born and grew up in the Mexico City area in 1975, December of 1975. Boy, nice breaking ball. Good 0-2 pitch.
a good 0-2 pitch, as you said, Darren. Aramis Ramirez has been bothered by some nagging injuries this spring. Hasn't played a whole lot. There's that elevated fastball that you were talking about, Darren.
What they've been talking about, and a bat or 2 a game is all he's been able to manage.
I'm sure he's a veteran. He knows how to get ready, what he needs to get ready.
Lou loves offense. That's the bottom line. He was limited last year, this slugger, to just 82 games, 15 home runs, 65 RBIs. Pretty good pitch, 3-2. This is a guy that you hope you can count on when healthy for 30+ and 100+. Gimme, as he fouls that one back to the screen.
Well, after jumping ahead 0-2, Rodrigo Lopez messed around. Now he's 3-2. That was a beautiful fastball to the outside corner. Really a good job by Ramirez just to foul that one off.
3-2 the count. Breaking ball, he lost him.
Spend your Friday and Saturday nights this season in Uptown.
Oh.
Uptown is the exclusive new fan zone behind right fielder Justin Upton. Fans seated in this section get a limited edition Uptown rally towel and may even catch a souvenir Uptown baseball. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Uptown.
Well done, Gracie.
Oh, I can't wait.
That is your read. I will eventually allow you to do it.
I want all of it.
Well, I will allow you to. Strike right down the middle to ex-Nady, Xavier Nady. Coming off elbow surgery. And they hope they might have caught lightning in a bottle. Just 7 games for the Yankees last year. Tommy John surgery July 8th, but obviously different for an offensive player than one that pitches, as that is pounded into the ground. What are your thoughts on this gentleman? He's no longer a young man. This gentleman as an offensive force.
He was a guy that came up with the San Diego Padres, and that was at a time when San Diego, every time they got a good young player, they traded him. And he ended up going to the Pittsburgh Pirates, did some really good things with the Pittsburgh Pirates before going over to the Yankees, and then it just never materialized with the Yankees because of injuries, serious injuries.
Bouncing ball could be 2. Kelly Johnson, Stephen Drew, Adam LaRoche, double play. That's the other part of the game, or so he hopes anyway, for Rodrigo Lopez. When everything you throw moves and it moves below the knees, you'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
He got away with a fastball really right down the middle. The new second baseman, Kelly Johnson, perfect feed to Stephen Drew, and that's about as tailor-made as you can do it. And that's not the easiest thing to do also, Darren, is get used to a new shortstop or get used to a new situation, as that was ripped down the left field line and foul. But Stephen Drew and Kelly Johnson spent countless hours this spring working together. You know, hey, Stephen, where do you like me to feed you? Do you like it to your glove side? Do you like it to your throwing hand side? Do you like it hip high or chest high? And vice versa. So there's a lot more to it than you think.
Off the end of the bat, a slider. Here comes Justin Upton racing, and he makes the play for the out.
That's some closing speed, isn't it?
You bet. Still a raw athlete.
Oh, there it is. Let's spend the night in Uptown.
And a boy racing.
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. $25 for your first bag?
Up to $35 for the second bag.
That'll add up to
$120 ground shrimp.
Oh, no. That's just not right.
Not my money. $120 there a packet for you.
Arizonans are hardworking, proud people. The recent downturn in the economy has affected us through the loss of our homes, our jobs, and even changes in our community. Bankruptcy was written by lawmakers to help people just like you in tough times. It could be the fresh start you need to get your life back. Call us now at 1-800-BANKRUPT for a free debt evaluation by phone to see how bankruptcy can help you. We can accept your case with little or no money down. Call 1-800-BANKRUPT. That's 1-800-BANKRUPT. Call now.
When I bought Goldie, I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. Until I found that pair of red sunglasses. I thought that was the best dollar I ever spent. But today, I wanted to try something off McDonald's dollar menu. With so much to choose from, I contemplated all my options and finally went in for the 100% beefy Melty McDouble. I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. And I know a thing or two about the value of a dollar.
Playoff implications are on the line as Amari Stoudemire and the Suns return from the road when they face off against an old nemesis in the San Antonio Spurs. The action gets underway next Wednesday at 7 on Fox Sports Arizona.
44 home runs a season ago and a breaking ball for strike one to Mark Reynolds. 102 RBIs, 98 runs scored. And a haircut finally.
Yeah, he had a bit of like the Lions mane going there. Did you see that last night?
I did see that. Saw it all spring.
Man.
It was even longer than that.
That's a familiar face.
It was that haircut for Mark Reynolds. I'm going to say we love him, but it was officially terrible. Too long.
A haircut only a mother could love? Whoa.
You better get used to more and more of that.
Yeah, that's part of being a 40 home run guy. You're gonna get your clock cleaned over the course of the season, especially when you hit them as far as Mark Reynolds does.
Chases away. Strike three down he goes. And so Mark Reynolds is erased. Mark this spring 365 with 3 homers. 8 walks, 15 strikeouts. Here's Miguel Montero. It's about mid-June last year. You folks remember it. The Diamondbacks knew that they would be working without Chris Snyder. And Miguel Montero and the likes of many in a supporting cast behind him would do their best to get things done catching. Now, catching every day, not only did he learn a lot about catching and game calling, but he really started hitting. 1-1.
It was a tough spring for Miguel Montero. Still slowly but surely starting to come around. He was hanging around the low 100s really most of March. But usually when you have a bad spring, you tell them, this doesn't go on the back of your baseball card.
That one
right
runs
through
in.
that.
1-2 the count. Hey, by the way, every time a Diamondback hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes will donate $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Up and in now. There is a healthy Chris Snyder this spring. And that's the different situation, is the managing of the playing time. Your starter is on the left, and his backup is on the right. And how do you, as a manager, keep both guys fresh and consistent? There within lies the challenge of being a big league manager.
Well, unless you've got a guy that's just an offensive machine behind the plate, for instance, Mike Piazza, somebody like that, you're going to have to split the time.
Joe Mauer.
Yes. You're going to have to split the time. As that was skied to right. X-Nady's going to put that away easily for the second out. But I also think it's important because it's such a demanding position. Other than first base, the most demanding position on the field is catching. And the Diamondbacks have a great problem. They've got two guys that are very good that are going to have to split time. And yes, I did say it's the second most demanding position on the field behind first base.
Now there's a catcher, a former catcher as a manager. There's another former catcher as a manager, BB, Bob Brenly, next door. You mind if we have him on during the game?
I would love to have Bob Brenly on.
His son has been called up for minor league camp. It is active tonight. Minor leaguers called up for the Chicago Cubs. How proud is he, I would imagine?
You got to think not only that, but there he is. There's little Michael. Man, he used to be the bat boy, and we just used to beat the tar out of him. Now,
I don't think so.
Now he's a big old lumberjack, and he looks like he's ready to. I call him Sir now.
Yes, you do. I also, if he would like, I will call Mark Reynolds barber for him as well, if he would like, and get him a spot.
He's got a little lion's mane going there too, doesn't he?
1-2 the count. By the way, Gracie just said that. Line drive, right center field, base hit. Well, a new year in this ballpark for Chris Young as well. After he hit just .212 a season ago, a season that saw him spend time in AAA, reach probably, I would imagine, the lowest point in his baseball life last year.
Fastball middle in. Like the fact it's just nice and short and sweet, and with Chris Young's speed, he hits down lower in the lineup, even with 2 outs. Man, this is a great time to run. You got Kelly Johnson up, who handles the bat well, get in scoring position, and that way you force the other manager's hand. Now, if you steal second base, you can go ahead and walk Kelly Johnson if you want early in the game, but that's going to turn the lineup over. So if Chris Young can find a way in the 7-hole to do some good 2-strike hitting like he did, that's going to be a big weapon for these Diamondbacks.
Right down the middle with some run.
Down the middle? I think it was a foot inside.
Good pitch there by Ryan Dempster.
We're in mid-season form.
Come on now.
That's down the middle?
Look at that run. Right down the middle.
I feel bad for you, Kelly.
0-2 the count. Pitcher's pitch. You're correct. Kelly Johnson.
No, it really wasn't a pitcher's pitch.
28 years old, out of Austin, Texas, was a Braves first-round pick back in 2000. Last year battled injuries, lack of playing time, limited him to just about a .224 average as he fouls that one off. But there was a couple of seasons, folks, 07, 08, you put the 2 seasons together. .282 is what he hit. His on-base percentage was .362 in those 2 seasons.
He's an accomplished hitter. He's a guy that He's going to put an at-bat on you. He's not a guy that strikes out much. He doesn't chase balls out of the strike zone very often. Will he strike out? Of course.
There goes the runner. The throw. Not in time. Ball popped out. He had been called safe before that occurred. So Chris Young with a stolen base.
So right there now it's decision time for Ryan Dempster. Ball is in. A good throw by Soto. A new skinny Soto.
All set.
And it just looks to me like if he hangs on to the baseball, the Cubs get the third out, but Fontenot couldn't hold on, and now an opportunity with Chris Young in scoring position for Kelly Johnson. Well, what a pitch that was. That was a strike.
Well, he got a couple of lively moving fastballs to grab the inside part of the plate. CY trying to make 2010 a brand new year.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I think our new turkey bacon cheddar grilled sandwich is the best.
And I think our grilled deli trio is the best.
But the turkey bacon cheddar has roasted turkey, cheddar cheese, and bacon on toasted artisan bread.
Yeah, but the deli trio has salami, sliced ham, roasted turkey, provolone cheese, and pickles on toasted artisan bread.
This is the worst commercial I've ever been in.
We could kiss.
So you drive like it's a racetrack. We'll check your rear view speeding. See those red and blues? That's a whole heap of trouble. Lucky for you, you called 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, and all you're going to have to fork over is the cost of the ticket. That's peanuts compared to what it would be without insurance. So in the heat, Flatfoot, the Big 5-0 asks you if you're insured. You can say, you bet your badge, Cupcake. On second thought, you might just want to say yes, sir. You got to have coverage. You want to save money. Do both at 1-800-SAFE-AUTO or safeauto.com.
Safe Auto.
No, it's not easy to save with 3 grown boys.
Not just 3 boys, triplets.
3 cheeseburgers with fries, 3 football uniforms.
Guys, just take turns. Everybody get a chance to lay back.
3 college education.
We showed the Mitchells online tools that come free with their Wells Fargo checking account. Could help them manage their expenses and save automatically. Times 3.
There you see. He's the 4th triplet.
Wells Fargo, with you when expenses come in 3s.
For your Arizona sports news, log on to FoxSportsArizona.com. The whiteout returns to Fox Sports Arizona in mid-April.
Jeez.
That's a great shot, folks, of the bench, the dugout for the Chicago Cubs, because just a moment ago, a young man called up from the minor leagues. Well, Michael Brenly, skipper Bob Brenly. Of course, we know him as world champion skipper Bob Brenly. There's a young man now getting the call up from minor league camp. Chicago Cubs is headed to A-ball. This is a treat. BB, thanks for coming up here, my friend. Now the color analyst for the Chicago Cubs.
What do you say, Skipper?
How you doing, Gracie?
Man?
Good to see you. Always good.
You guys
Always
met
good.
before?
Yeah, we know each other a little bit.
We've been around a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That part of our conversation we'll start with. How proud are you to sit up here and to see him down there?
Oh, I mean, I'm proud of him and his sister for what they've accomplished so far in their lives. But it's just so exciting, Gracie, as you know. It's a long road. It's not an easy thing to do, and there's a lot of competition at his position. But he's doing what he loves to do, and he's making progress every year. So it's just been an absolute joy for me to watch him.
Tell us about the Cubs' decisions. Not a lot to make like A.J. Hinch has. Seems like things are pretty much set roster-wise, yes?
Yeah, I mean, the bullpen is a little questionable this year. Carlos Marmol's going to be the full-time closer, and certainly he's got closer stuff. But
he's the most exciting player in the game.
You got that right. I was talking to you earlier, Grace. There's Michael.
Boy, Michael.
Yeah, Carlos Marmol, I think, is going to remind Cub fans a lot of Mitch Williams. A lot of walk the bases loaded and then strike out the side. And there's a lot of young guys leading up to Marmol. So the bullpen, I think, has a possibility of being an issue.
Tell us more about Marlon Byrd. Gracie and I were talking about him. Aside of the extracurricular, off-the-field things that Milton Bradley struggled with, just strictly as a player, what does he add to the Cubs?
Well, I'll tell you, for one thing, for a guy that's 6'1" and weighs 245 pounds, he covers a tremendous amount of ground in center field. A really, really good defender. Of course, a Rudy Jaramillo hitting guy, so he already knows the program and has swung the bat pretty well here this spring. And more than anything else, just the attitude change from Milton Bradley to Marlon Byrd is like polar opposites. So I think he's going to be a big improvement to the outfield this year.
Mike Fontenot goes down on strikes.
What about Rudy Jaramillo? What do you know about him? He is a hitting guru. Everybody that goes through Texas, where he used to be the hitting coach, all of a sudden they just learn how to hit. Yeah. And when they leave Texas, they forget how to hit. What does he bring that you've noticed?
Well, I haven't really had a chance to sit down and get into any kind of depth about it. He's got 5 specific philosophies as far as hitting goes, and the simplest one, and the one everybody has to, you have to see the ball. That sounds very simple, but
that always helps.
Yeah, he's got some timing mechanisms he likes to see his hitters use, and he, certain accounts he likes to see him be more aggressive. Does a lot of homework on opposing pitchers, has great scouting reports on everybody that the team is going to face, but I think any coach, you have to earn the respect of your players, and certainly he's had that from day one.
Stephen Drew fires it on across. So we've talked about managers. Look, for the Diamondbacks, it's been manager talk last year, this year, new manager. You have a veteran manager. You were the manager when that occurred. That's my big lead-in. Would you ever want to do it again?
Oh, sure. If the right situation came along, Darren, it was 3.5 years of the most fun I ever had around baseball. I mean, even when things were bad, it was good. It was just so much fun, and especially that 0-1 season with guys like Gracie and Matty Williams and Jay Bell and Tony Womack and all the veterans. It was just an absolute joy, and I'd love to do it again someday.
He was the perfect manager for that team, and, well, guess what? We won it all, didn't we, Big
Yes,
Boy?
we did.
Bob Brenly, another half inning with us. We're going to have him tell us all about Mark Grace behind the scenes. There he is, Dad. There he is.
Serving businesses across every industry, E-Squared is your partner and single source for telecommunications and information technology solutions. E-Squared can help you reel in your wireless costs by explaining carriers' complex pricing structures, reviewing and monitoring your monthly billing statements, and ensuring that you're receiving competitive pricing for your service. Doing business in Arizona since 2001. Call E-Squared today to schedule a free review of your business wireless plans. And if we can't help you, we'll buy you lunch. E-Squared Communications, 602-371-1500.
Not just a job search, a journey. Not just an interview, an inspiration. Not just a paycheck, a path. We're all here for a purpose. Find yours at Grand Canyon University.
Hey, buddy. What are those?
Your zeros.
What are they for?
They're for the thing. Really big thing?
Oh, right. The big thing. Where am I going to put them?
You can put them in front.
For the first time ever, lease a Honda Civic for zero down payment and zero due at signing.
It's called the really big thing, only at your Honda dealer.
We're in Tampa as the Yankees square off with the Rays. Fox Saturday Baseball returns April 10th. Coverage begins with This Weekend Baseball at a special time.
Well, it's opening day for your lawn. Visit your local Lowe's on Saturday, April 10th. Scott's National Lawn Care Day, and learn tips from lawn care pros. Good partnership with Lowe's, and glad to have you back here at Chase Field. Bob Brenly joining us up in the broadcast booth. I don't even think he needs a subtitle there for all of the things he accomplished here and still is accomplishing in Chicago in the broadcast booth. Now, that's the other part of it. You did both here. You managed, you sat up here. Do you still like what we do?
I love what we do up here because at the end of the day, win or lose, you pack up your bag and you go home, and the beer's cold, the food tastes good, and you sleep well. But, there's something about the challenge and, actually having a direct influence on what happens in the game. Whereas up here, we try to anticipate things, and we talk about what we see, we analyze the action, but not quite the same challenge.
The uniform is pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and I think some guys unfortunately don't realize that until they take the uniform off their backs, and then they wish they would have done some things differently while they had the uniform on.
There's a man that was longing to get back in uniform, Matt Williams, down there in that helmet, coaching in first base.
You played with and managed Matt Williams, is that correct?
Yeah, I saw Matty Williams when he came up, I believe it was 1986, as a rookie with the Giants as a shortstop, and struggled mightily at the plate, but you could really see the tools were there, and anybody that knows Matt Williams knows that he was going to work hard at it until he got good, and boy did he ever. The big Marine.
What a fabulous teammate he was.
Here's Connor Jackson, leadoff hitter for these Diamondbacks. Boy, things have evolved, haven't they? Leadoff hitters were only the little guys that could outrun everybody. Now it's more about how often do you get on base.
Well, and is this something that AJ is going to go
Yes.
with?
I think 100%, yeah. At least for opening day, this guy's going to be the first batter for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And, you know, you have this stereotype for leadoff hitters, Tony Womack,
right.
Brett Butler, guys like that, the little speed guys, the little water bugs that are a pain in the backside for pitchers and opposing managers. People forget, like, one of the best leadoff hitters of all time was Wade Boggs. And, my gosh, you and I were faster than him.
I think we could both outrun him. Yeah.
Easy, boys. 1-2 the count.
But it's so funny, Gracie. I see Connor Jackson here and Dan Ugla down in Florida and Carlos Quentin in Chicago. And those were all the minor league guys that we called up, like my son Michael's getting an opportunity here tonight. You know, sometimes we didn't even know who their names. You know, they're wearing number 96. Who's this guy? Connor who?
Hey, you.
And now you see them all, you know, filling valuable roles with their ball clubs in the big leagues. It's just amazing.
There's a young man that's getting older, batted some leadoff, a unique player as well in that position. Bouncing ball, Aramis Ramirez. So Connor is erased. So tell us about. Obviously, people are thinking the Cardinals. I mean, size up the Central if you could briefly for us.
Well, you know, I think the Cardinals, if they stay healthy, are probably the team to beat. Strong top of the rotation. Any lineup that has Holiday and Pujols in the middle of it is a lineup to be reckoned with. But I think they are a little fragile. I think an injury could really knock them down in the standings. For me, the Brewers, I think, are the team you have to watch out for, you know, if you're a Cubs fan.
Do they have enough pitching?
Well, I think Randy Wolf is going to help them a lot. I think Giovanni Gallardo is going to be a superstar. This guy is unbelievable. And, you know, Trevor Hoffman at the end of the game, they've got some question marks in the middle, but I think they're the kind of ball club that's going to out-hit a lot of their mistakes.
They're going to slug the baseball.
They punish that baseball, and they love to swing the bats and run the bases. So I think the Brewers are kind of a sleeper team in our division. Of course, the Cubs, if that young bullpen pitches, you know, maybe a little above expectations, I think the Cubs have a chance. I think it's a very well-balanced division this year. If the Reds get any pitching at all, I think they have a chance to work their way up to the top of the division.
I'm still picking the Pirates.
Are you really? Nobody's picking the Pirates.
No.
The Reds could be one of those sleeper teams, though.
Have you seen the Cuban Missile?
No, I haven't seen him, but I've heard reports from another former D-back, Bob Melvin, who's doing some work for the New York Mets this spring down here in Arizona, and he saw Chapman pitch a couple times and tells me he's a real deal, and I trust Mel's opinion an awful lot, so I got to believe he's going to be a real good one.
Left-handers that throw close to 100. Those are good guys to have, like Randy Johnson.
Yeah. We like those guys a lot.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. doesn't have that luxury, though he has a young reliever that has some mid-90s stuff he has to decide on as that one dives down and away. Gracie and I being joined by Bob Brenly up here in the broadcast booth. Thinks the Valley is home in the wintertime, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Went to a lot of Arizona Fall League games last year. Got to see some of the stars of the future play. That was a lot of fun.
You still go to a lot of high school football games, don't you?
Yeah, once in a while I'll sneak up to Desert Mountain and watch those guys or some of the games they play down at Scottsdale Community College. But yeah, we try to be part of the community.
Thank you, BB.
Hey, my pleasure.
Best of luck to you as always.
Great to see you.
Great to see you, man.
Scoreless ball game here at Chase.
When I bought Goldie, I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. Until I found that pair of red sunglasses. I thought that was the best dollar I ever spent. But today, I wanted to try something off McDonald's dollar menu. With so much to choose from, I contemplated all my options and finally went in for the 100% beefy Melty McDouble. I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. And I know a thing or two about the value of the dollar.
games until opening day.
Glad to have you back at the ballpark. A scoreless ball game. Our good partnership continues with our good friends with Jack in the Box, thinking outside the box for Jack in the Box, taking you back in time. 3 times an opening day starter for the Baltimore Orioles. 60 times he was a winner pitching against the Beasts in the East. Rodrigo Lopez, he tries to resurrect his career and his health after shoulder surgery with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the first pitch, a breaking ball, strike 1 to Ryan Theriot. Well, a couple of innings in, I was able to watch his last outing down in Tucson. Reynolds even with the bag at third. Your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Well, he's been brilliant. Both pitchers have been brilliant here tonight. Tough to say he's not throwing the ball well when he hadn't given up a hit yet. Oh, there it is. I threw the Moachichi right on him right there.
Well, you know what, Gracie? Get it out of the way in spring training, because that's certainly not a big league thing to do.
You're correct. I got 2 days to get it figured out.
2-1 the count.
He just reared back, threw it right down the middle with a little sink and a little fade, and it just locked up Theriot.
Everything moves. As that one is fouled into the seats, and you could say the same for this young man when he was on his feet as a young man, moving all the time in a suburb of Mexico City. His father was essentially a AAA soccer player, just about a step away from professional soccer at the highest level. He loved the sport, but it was baseball that caught his eye, and a chase away. That one didn't catch the eye at all of Ryan Theriot. For me, that pitch is all about location.
Absolutely, and you can see Theriot's just trying to fight it off, trying to foul it off. I mean, you haven't really seen a comfortable swing yet off of Rodrigo Lopez, have you?
No. And discomfort, that mental game, that's what Dan Herron always speaks of.
Wasn't it amazing, after you've been shelved with injuries for a couple or 3 years as Rodrigo Lopez, and he was saying, there you go, of course, but
hanging slider base hit, yes.
If you've read any articles in the Arizona Republic or any of our other newspapers around town, one thing Rodrigo Lopez says is, for the first time in a long time, my arm feels good. And isn't it amazing when you know you can let it go and it's not going to hurt? That makes a big difference. Right now, Brandon Webb's going through that.
Well, you said it. And I certainly crossed my wires a bit. Pretty good pitch. That one is low. Lopez, I said shoulder surgery. Obviously, that's what Webb had last year. It was August of 07, Tommy John surgery. Yeah. Yes. Tommy John surgery. Dr. Louis Yoakum, the Angels team doctor, performed that surgery. And he has been trying to work his way back from that ever since. Makes his home here in the Valley. As a matter of fact, it was a big compliment to us as I was able to meet him here a few weeks back in spring training. He said, I enjoy watching you and Gracie do what you do because I've been out of the game. And trying to stay close to baseball, watching it a lot. Again, good placement, 1-1.
And he's not lighting up the radar gun. Everything's anywhere from 86 to 89 miles an hour. But as you said, he's got that movement. And tonight, everything around the knees, unless he wants to elevate on purpose. But he's just in complete command so far of what he's trying to do.
High, 2-1 the count. A.J. Hinch speaking before the game saying 6 innings is what he is looking for Lopez. I mean, the pitch count more than manageable. He is about 1 start behind all of his mates in the rotation. But I would imagine if you asked the skipper here over the next few weeks, he'd still say, I'd be thrilled with 6 innings out of Rodrigo Lopez.
Certainly attainable the way things are going so far.
2-1 the count, looking to roll up a ground ball. Infield playing to pull, outfield a step or two the other way. That one buried in on his hands, good life on it. To finish the thought on soccer, it was the sport that he thought that he always wanted to play, and then as he got older, and this is I would imagine a fairly common story in Mexico, a young pitcher by the name of Fernando Valenzuela caught his eye. In the game of baseball, then caught his eye. And he was, amazingly enough, Lopez, years later, signed by the San Diego Padres as a fading Fernando Valenzuela finished his career as a teammate in spring training. The 2-2. Fouled it back.
Fernando Valenzuela just, well, the face, the cover boy of Mexican baseball. Still is. And rightly so. He wasn't much fun to face, Darren.
I would imagine not, Gracie. At all. That screwball.
Oh, and amazing command and control. Gas! Right by Derek Lee. My goodness, Rodrigo, don't be so mean.
3 strikeouts for Lopez.
Right to the inside corner and right by the mighty Derek Lee. That was the first gas of the year. Just.
Well, in spring training, you have to dust everything off, correct? I mean, it's been a busy inning for you. You've squelched a no-hitter.
Well, he was only going 6 innings anyways.
Well, that's true. Rudder goes, breaking ball, throw down. Got him.
Look at Miguel Montero.
We'll be talking about that for the first month or so. When we come back, we'll explain what Miguel Montero's been doing every morning while you've been driving through at Starbucks. He hasn't been there. He's been on the backfield in Tucson with Glenn Sherlock. There's your results.
Tagged him right in the face.
Enjoy your flight.
Ought to be a bag on a Southwest Airlines flight. Bags get to go backstage and see all kinds of stuff. Like this guy. They get their picture taken. Then they get to go outside where the planes are. Bags have it made. Except on other airlines where they charge you up to $120 round trip. That makes bags cry. Grab your bag. It's on.
Hello, I'm Bill Blazer, a board-certified specialist in personal injury and wrongful death. At 1-800-INJURED, all we do is help injured people by pursuing negligent drivers, bad drug companies, or anyone who causes injury to another. We provide 2 attorneys to work on your case. Our entire team is dedicated to putting you first to ensure no unnecessary delays in recovering your money. Make this smart call to someone you know and trust. 1-800-INJURED. That's 1-800-INJURED. 24 hours every day. Call now.
How do you compare a Ford Focus to a Toyota Corolla? You don't. Focus starts with quality that can't be beat by Corolla. And it's available with exclusive voice-activated sync technology. Not to mention, Ford Focus gets a fuel-sipping EPA-estimated 35 miles per gallon. There really is no comparison.
Now in Arizona, get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $3,000 cash back on Focus. Visit your Arizona Ford dealers for a test drive today.
The Phoenix Coyotes continue their quest for the top spot in the Western Conference. They'll look to pick up another 2 valuable points as they face off against the Edmonton Oilers. Saturday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona.
Back to live action. Justin Upton trying to surprise Aramis Ramirez, attempting to drop down a bunt for a base hit.
I love that.
You will see more of that from Justin Upton. You will see more of that from Chris Young. I spoke with Young about it before the game. He said it will be a much larger part of my game this year.
If that's fair, I mean, he can walk. That's what he brings. No third baseman's going to play him in because he'll kill you. He'll knock your teeth out. That's there for him anytime he wants, Darren. And leading off an inning, I think that's a very bright thing to do at a tender young age of 22.
Savvy. Wheels, you bet.
Oh, man. Whatever that was.
He pulled the string on him. 1-2 the count to Justin.
Might have to check for a jar of Vaseline back there behind the mound.
Oh, boy. Breaking that out in spring training.
What do you got going there, Ryan?
We don't want Troy Tulowitzki calling. 1-2 the count. Out front, and Upton goes down on strikes. I want to go back to, and we'll bring in our good partners and sponsors with Home Depot doing more on defense. Glad to have them back again this year. This is doing more on defense, and Gracie, this is a perfect throw.
Perfect throw. Little glove in the face there. Kelly Johnson on Marlon Bird. And That took a perfect throw to get him because Bird had a good jump, and Montero delivered the perfect throw.
Miguel Montero, before the morning meeting, now every day, not just some days as LaRoche grounds that one foul, not just Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, every day. Between 7 and 7:30, he and Glenn Sherlock would go out to a backfield or a cage if it was a cool morning and work on footwork and throwing. Now, when I say every day, I mean every single day this spring as he swings over the top of it, 0-2 the count. They really started at ground zero. The very basics of throwing, from gripping the ball to lead arm going out in front, elbow, how you pull it back to your body, footwork, everything that goes into it. Miguel said, I want to just start over.
Well, and that is an area of Miguel's game that he'll admit it needs to improve is his throwing. And I love the fact that he's out there, another guy that just wants to get better. Yeah, he had a good year offensively last year, but he wants to get better. And Glenn Sherlock, one of the best catching coaches in the game.
Bill Plummer would come over from minor league camp, longtime Diamondbacks catching instructor who caught with Johnny Bench in the big leagues and was one of Miguel's early on minor league managers. Worked with Miguel on a lot of those early mornings before minor league camp opened. It's a story, truth be told, that Miguel and Glenn didn't want us talking a lot about because they just wanted to go about their business. They didn't want to do it for the attention. But had a chance to sit down with Miguel today on an interview that you'll hear throughout the next couple of weeks. And Miguel said, all right, I don't mind if you talk about it now. I'm done with it. And nice to see some results early on. That helps, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Helps your confidence.
3-2 the count.
And trust me, there's a lot of advanced scouts in the stands right now that are probably saying, writing down, showed me a pretty good throwing arm right there.
Some of his bosses and certainly some of the scouts down there. Bob
There's some of the boys. Jim Marshall was down there. Pretty good at bat there from Adam LaRoche to draw the one-out walk.
That, by the way, the first walk for Mr. LaRoche this spring.
Is he going to get the ball?
Mark Reynolds, the Amica hit zone.
Huh?
And our good friends, for each hit the Diamondbacks get from now through the end of the season, Amica will donate $10 to the Boys and Girls Club of Arizona. The home runs, they are the hit zones, the hot zones where you hit the homers. As that one dives down and away. I thank Amica for doing good work with the Boys and Girls Club. Mark struck out back in the second inning. But yes, the first walk for Adam.
Congratulations, Adam. Gas.
1-1.
Mark, not a high ball hitter at all. He's a guy that likes the ball down around the knees to the thighs. Anything belt high or higher usually gets past him. But boy, you talk about a nitro zone around the knees. Goodness. Good pitch. Inside corner, just froze Mark Reynolds.
One and two the count. A home run every 13 at bats last year. That was better than the year before and better than the year before that as that one dives in and away. Worked defensively, offensively, and on work ethic, really. Just continue to work with that man, Matt Williams. He was a visitor last year because Matt was a broadcaster. Now he's in his grill every day.
Oh, yeah. Every day. Relentless.
2-2. Gives that one a ride. Deep left field. Mark Reynolds. Done. Fourth home run of spring training. With that home run, Fulton Holmes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. There will be many more in this ballpark in the regular season off the bat of that man.
They want it in. It's right around the thighs. And you know the strange thing, yes, that ball is about 7 or 8 rows deep. He didn't come close to getting all that ball. That ball actually got in on him a little bit. That's just how doggone strong Mark Reynolds is. 99% of Major League Baseball, that's a jam shot fly ball to the left fielder. For him, it's a homer.
Pitch is high, 1-0 the count to Miguel Montero. As he ran by the first base coach who has worked with him tirelessly, there was no low five or high five. Matt's old school. He's not into that.
That ain't happening with Matt Williams.
I heard him speak of that many times in the locker room over the time at Tucson Electric Park. A lot of first base coaches, which is fine. They'll be ready for you, waiting to high five as you go by. Matt made it clear that's no.
No. I'll shake your hand after the game. I like it.
That's what you get paid to do, is what he'll tell you.
Need some old school on this ball club, man. I love it.
That man in the third base coach's box will bring it too. Bo Porter.
Bo Porter, another former teammate of mine with the Cubs.
3-0 the count. Well, let's see if he's true to his word. Yeah.
Yeah. It was almost like Matt was running from him. Attaboy, Matty. I like it.
Well, something told me that you would.
Yeah, you gotta have some old school. Not many of us left.
3-2.
I mean, guys like you, Darren, you love those guys with the zebra shoes and the fancy glasses and earrings. And
that's right, Mark. The 3-2. Fouls that one off into the seats. Love the old school. I'm actually right there with him.
You like the home run dances and all the getting the dugout and all the fancy dances over there.
Like the Mets used to do a couple of years ago.
Oh, gosh.
Really was a fan of that.
Oh, I'd rather not talk about that.
The 3-2. Hanging around. I like when a guy hits a homer and everyone gets to home plate and they all fall down like bowling pins. Really like that.
Like the Brew Crew.
That's exactly. Untuck your shirts and jerseys.
Yeah, yeah.
Matt likes that.
No, I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Fly ball well struck into left center field. Let's keep banging that drum as Matt Williams does. Matty, give us your thoughts on Mark Reynolds.
Explosion. That's what he brings to the table in every way. We see it defensively. You know, we saw it last year, him diving in the stands 4 or 5 times to catch baseballs. We see it when he puts the head of the bat on a baseball and what can happen there. You know, being with you, we went through the numbers a lot last year about, you know, he had, I don't know how many of the top 10 home run distances last year himself. So it's explosion. We need to harness that just a little. So what he brings to the table is the ability to be the most dominant third baseman in the game.
That's a big statement. But we got to harness him. I like that. Easier said than done.
No doubt. But you can sense he looks forward to the responsibility.
He can be the most dominant third baseman in baseball. Not the National League, in baseball.
There's a young man that plays in the Bronx. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Guy that plays in Turner Field. That's pretty good. Chipper Jones, Alex Rodriguez.
0-2 the count.
Kung Fu Panda. Aramis Ramirez. There's some good ones.
Kung Fu Panda.
I love the Kung Fu
I know
Panda.
you do. Pablo Sandoval.
He can hit.
Hanging
missed
around.
his spot. Missed his spot. Got away with it.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mark Reynolds with a home run. Popped up, right side. gobbled up by Fontenot. So this spring again, 4 home runs by Mark Reynolds as he gets ready to get comfortable. Just don't be expecting any high fives when you pass by your first base coach, pal.
No, it's not easy to save the 3 grown boys.
Not just 3 boys, triplets.
3 cheeseburgers with fries, 3 football uniforms.
Guys, just take turns. Everybody can get a chance to lay back.
3 college education.
We showed the Mitchells online tools that come free with their Wells Fargo checking account. Could help them manage their expenses and save automatically. Times 3.
There you see. He's a 4th triplet.
Wells Fargo, with you when expenses come in 3s.
At some point, a car ceases to be just a car and becomes an old friend. And no one cares for your friend like your local AMCO guys. Our technicians are experts in everything from tune-ups to transmissions. So if your transmission is slipping, bring your old friend into AMCO. People who know, call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
Call AMCO now for their transmission tune-up service. Now only $29.95.
AA MCO.
Half the calories? All the G. Half the calories? All the G.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Sting like a bee.
Half the calories? All the G. I know that's right.
Playoff implications are on the line as Amari Stoudemire and the Suns return from the road when they face off against an old nemesis in the San Antonio Spurs. The action gets underway next Wednesday at 7 on Fox Sports Arizona.
I tell you, the best part of this job is that right there, and we look forward to seeing all of our little ones, their moms and their dads, with good-looking, young Mark Grace-like haircuts at the ballpark. AT&T trivia question. After Mark Reynolds, 44, which 3 D-backs hit the most home runs last season? It's a pretty good question.
Did they hit the same amount?
I don't think so. I think you're just going down in descending order down the list. I think it's a very good question, actually.
Okay.
So you had Mark with 44.
I'm going to say Tony Clark, Felipe Lopez, and Augie Ojeda.
There's your maybe
Uptown. So Justin Upton was one of them. Okay. Yeah, we knew that.
Justin Upton last year, 26 home runs, I think. 2-1. Outside. Well, how about...
Goodness, he called that a strike.
Corner then. Outside corner. 2-2. How about Chris Young? Look at the movement on that pitch.
Continues to roll.
Goodness. 4 strikeouts here in the 5th inning for the veteran Rodrigo Lopez.
So Ramos Ramirez hustles back to the dugout. Having a beautiful changeup. You can see just how far out in front. That's a very good hitter that he just made look bad.
That one is fouled off. I think at that point, X-80 was trying to hustle Ramirez back into the dugout, falling a ball over his way. Never ceases to amaze me. I will just move on. Breaking ball is away. You know that gets under my skin.
No, not you.
I'm good with home run dances and all that, but hustle is important too.
I got an answer to the trivia. Connor Jackson.
Lift up.
Hill Valley Fever.
In the left field. There's Connor Jackson. He is well now. Connor, of course, wanted to remind Gracie he had 1 home run last year.
Yeah, it was a long one, though. Good to have him back.
How about Stephen Drew?
No? How many Stephen have last year?
Well, how about 12?
12? I know somebody that had more.
Who do you have? Inside corner, beautiful pitch.
I have to say Miguel Montero.
16, very good. 0-1 the count. The veteran Soriano.
Look at this man pitch. Are you kidding me with this, Darren Sutton? Rodrigo Lopez, color me impressed.
The veteran right-hander rocks and fires on 0-2. Good idea. Tried to get him to chase up. Lopez, 3 different teams he has pitched for in the Mexican League. He was lent away for a season by the San Diego Padres pitching down there. And on the hands, Reynolds plays it off to his side, plays it nicely, keeps those feet moving, and in time for the out.
He's going to win the Cy Young.
I'd take that.
He's going to win the Cy Young award.
I'll take 33 starts.
The truth. You're not going to hear much of it from the politicians, but you're sure going to hear it from me. I'm Buzz Mills. Our Arizona budget is shamelessly out of control, and all the politicians want to do is keep increasing spending and increasing your taxes. As governor, I will reduce spending to balance the budget. No taxes, no gimmicks, just straight up hard decisions. It's time to speak the truth and get some real results. I will.
As long as we're winding up our doing dials, let's wind them with precision. Open our throttle to even more selection and turn that savings swagger a full tilt. So when the time comes to bust open a can of doing, we've got all the tools for all the things we need to make them happen. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get Scott's Naturescapes mulch for the new lower price of just $3.88.
The energy drink for your feet. With ZigTech, I get more train, less pain.
When I bought Goldie, I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. Until I found that pair of red sunglasses. I thought that was the best dollar I ever spent. But today, I wanted to try something off McDonald's dollar menu. With so much to choose from, I contemplated all my options and finally went in for the 100% beefy Melty McDouble. I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. And I know a thing or two about the value of the dollar.
Glad to have you back at the ballpark. 2-0 the score. Rodrigo Lopez and Mark Reynolds. Those are the two heroes so far in the spring training contest. Cactus League contest. There's Kirk Gibson, bench coach. And Kirk is not one of the new additions. But let's ask you this. Our text poll brought to you by our good friends at Miller Lite. Which new D-back will have the biggest impact? A, Edwin Jackson. B, Ian Kennedy. Adam LaRoche or Kelly Johnson? A, B, C, or D to 369-29. 369-29. The biggest impact. As the left-hander, Sean Marshall takes over and promptly fires a strike over the outside corner. The numbers last year in the big leagues for the left-hander. Breaking ball sweeps away. 1-1 the count. Bobby Howry's not mentioned. That's a veteran of so many seasons and appearances in the big leagues.
His name's going to get called a lot.
Aaron Heilman is a guy that could be mentioned as well. Bobby, the pride of Deer Valley High School. More than 700 appearances in the major leagues. Kelly Johnson shoots the gap, lefty on lefty. Look at that ball fly. On a hop up against the wall. Johnson running hard in with a stand-up double. That's nice to see right there. The left-handed hitter just hang in and shoot the ball the other way.
I don't know what he did. He laid off a couple of breaking balls to get the count in his favor. Got something he can handle. Short and quick. Boy, that's a pretty swing. And that's a pretty sound. And that ball got to the gap quickly. Nicely done there by Kelly Johnson. Rodrigo Lopez going to get another opportunity. He's got the bunt sign. And you want to bunt this ball firmly to the third baseman. Right there is where you want your bunt to go. And he's going to swing. Rodrigo, you got the bunt sign.
Shows where you'd like it to go, Gracie.
Right over in there. That's where you want to bunt this ball, and that's what Bo Porter's telling him. See right over there? You see that?
I do.
Right over there. I like them apples. That's big league, isn't it? Yeah. Right over there at third baseman. Oh, dear.
He bunted at it. Oh, 0-2 the count. Leadoff hitter Connor Jackson. See if Rodrigo can get it down. Well, he goes down on strikes.
Well,
2 for 51 in his big league career with a couple of sacrifices.
Okay, he's wanting to right over in there. That's where he wanted to put it, right over there. Is that better?
That's excellent.
That's spring training.
So this is a work in progress. You're going to be able to peer over our shoulders.
Sometimes you got to wave the white flag.
Don't do that, not yet. We'll be peering over our shoulders when we say it's okay only, Mitch Riggins. Here is Connor Jackson. Breaking ball, strike one. Hey, you look at the different hitters that have solid on-base percentages and their careers evolve. And how they fit into clubs, maybe clubs with sluggers like a younger David Ortiz, as that one paints the outside, and a younger Manny Ramirez. Because Kevin Youkilis, when he was 27 years old, batted leadoff in 95 games for the Boston Red Sox. Kevin Youkilis, he had the .385 on base percentage as a leadoff hitter. That one is fouled off. Chad Tracy, an old friend, has gone into the ball game. He has made the Chicago Cubs.
There's our old buddy. Darren likes to call him Big Red. I just like to call him a good player.
Tyler Colvin is in left field, the young, talented phenom who forced the Cubs' hand and made this club. Lou Piniella has always made it clear, son, if you can hit, you're in. He can hit, he's in.
And boy, has he hit this spring. He's making these major leagues look very easy.
34 hits. Leads all of National League spring training numbers.
Oh, my goodness.
Really?
He did not go at that. That's just an umpire that doesn't know Connor Jackson.
He called it on his own, didn't he? Home plate umpire
he didn't ask
called
for
it on
help.
his own.
He didn't ask for help. You'll see Connor, there's a lot of movement, but watch the bat.
Three umpires in the crew this evening. But again, the home plate umpire called that on his own. Mm-hmm. He pointed over the top, said,
he does not. He's not required to get help. Not if he thinks he's got it. And he thought he got it.
Stephen Drew takes a strike. In our umpires show last year, umpires obviously in this situation very different with just a three-man crew, but they shared with us that's the toughest call they make because they have to figure out intent. Big Red runs out of space. East Carolina Pirate.
Looks like Jimmy Wolf, brother of Randy Wolf, who is now with the Milwaukee Brewers. That's definitely Jim Wolf.
Oh, 2. Steven takes that one away. But to finish the thought, that young man in left field for the Cubs has hit nearly 500 this spring. And Lou Piniella has just decided you're going to Chicago with us.
Yeah. We need you.
And you're also going to play, too. Over the top of that one. Drew with a wave and a miss.
Struck out the side, did Sean Marshall.
He did do a nice job. When we come back, we'll get a look at this young, talented phenom. He's due up third.
Dad?
Yeah.
Can you help me earn 2 badges?
Sure. What's the first one?
Thriftiness?
Well, that's easy. Right now, we can offer 2 biscuit sandwiches for only $3. Warm buttermilk biscuits with bacon, egg, and cheese, or sausage, egg, and cheese. That's a lot of food for $3.
Cool.
So what's the second badge?
Dad, it's supposed to be an apple.
It's all fruit, son.
Fox Sports Arizona is a proud partner of the 2010 Arizona Sports Hall of Fame's 40th induction ceremony. Please join the Phoenix Regional Sports Commission as Bob Baffert, Sean Elliott, Billy Harris, Lute Olson, and Billy Mayfair will all be inducted at 3 p.m. Thursday, April 8th at the Phoenix Convention Center. Go to phoenixsports.org or call 602-258-6272 for ticket information. Funds raised will be used to enhance our community through sports. For your Arizona sports news, log on to foxsportsarizona.com.
Time now for our APS Energy All-Star of the game. Well, head and shoulders. This gentleman who on a wing and a prayer arrived with this organization and certainly has had a lot of success in the major leagues. 3 times an opening day starter for Baltimore. Double-digit wins in the major leagues on 3 occasions as well. But coming back from Tommy John surgery, the veteran Rodrigo Lopez looking like he is just about all the way back as he gets set for the regular season. There has not been, except for when he's elevated up at the belt, there has not been a straight fastball. He's wanted to go straight up there. Everything's moved, dipped, darted, and impeccable command.
And he's been strike one all day.
And not overpowering. That's the top side there with his fastball at 89 miles an hour. That one is fouled off.
But when you can throw strikes with all your pitches, and Darren, we talked about it in the open. We talked about he's got 4 pitches, and he varies those pitches as well. The fastball, the curveball, the slider, the changeup. In, out. He's just been in complete command.
Started that fastball in and rode a little bit to the inside corner, and on the ground Mike Fontenot is erased. First pitch strikes to 12 of 16.
Yeah, just continuing to pound the strike zone. Is that the first nugget from Kurt Zacher this year?
Kurt Zacher, oh no. There have been nuggets being just piled up high over here.
Really?
Everything I've said tonight, statistically, our statistician, Kurt Zacher.
There he is.
Always sneaking into the shot, our coordinating producer, Mark Rita.
Mark Rita, shamelessly being in the shot. There's Mark, right behind Kurt. Kurt hard at work.
Look
Mark
at him.
Rita, there he can't get a break around here, Mark.
Bouncing ball to short. Giovanni Soto is erased, and the good stuff just keeps on rolling from Rodrigo Lopez.
This is impressive, Darren Sutton. Very impressive. Rodrigo Lopez just dominating.
There have been 4 strikeouts and then 8 ground ball outs. And when you talk to talent evaluators, whether you're evaluating a veteran or a young kid pitching, they love ground ball outs and strikeouts.
Well,
you're going to win if you do that. Well, here is the young man, Tyler Colvin, out of Clemson. Young man this spring that hit .453 with 34 hits and 17 runs batted in.
Where did he play last year, Darren?
He played last year in AA, the Southern League, Tennessee.
How'd he do?
Last year hit .300 on base of .334. Hit 14 homers. Started last year, though, in the Florida State League.
17 RBIs in spring training. It's very good.
That one dives in. Scout that found him, signed him, Antonio Grissom. Elbow problems behind him. He has, though, moved up the list very quickly. Baseball America's Prospect Handbook rated him as the 17th best prospect in the Cubs organization coming into spring training.
17th best?
3-1, yes, sir.
17th? And he hit like 1,000,000 this spring?
As a matter of fact, the final sentence of his evaluation, he'll open 2010 by getting his first taste of AAA.
Oh, really?
Drives that one into the right center field gap. Over the head of Young. Racing on around is Colvin, heading towards third. A triple, a 3-bagger, and the incredible spring continues.
17?
35 hits.
Big, handsome young man. Bang! Got a 3-1 fastball and just leaned on it. Get that bat out of my hand. Beats Chris Young on the fly. And for the first time in a long time, a base runner for the Cubs. He's showing some speed, too.
Stands about 6'4", 200 pounds, runs well. Ryan Terrio. That pitch dives down and away. When they speak of Colvin, Lou Piniella is talking about all 3 of his outfielders. Talk about Marlon Byrd and ex-Nady. Soriano. They will each get 1 day off per week.
Really?
That young man will start in all the positions.
Well, he's slowly but surely becoming my favorite player.
I figured that would happen. I think he's.
I mean, you hit close to 500 in spring training. You're my guy, and you know that.
1-1 the count.
They have not retired Sammy Sosa's number, shockingly, in Chicago. He's wearing number 21 over there as Colvin.
Good catch by you, longtime Cub, number 17. And he is having a fabulous spring, rewriting his own piece of history with that number. 2-1. Pitch is low, 3-1 the count. Let's see, 73 pitches here in the 6th inning.
Then you begin to wonder now if perhaps because after dominating for 5 2/3, back-to-back 3-1 counts, now Rodrigo Lopez is going to have to be real careful here. Got it past him on 3-1. Looked like he ran something in on the hands there, didn't he, Darren?
He did. He buried it in just enough. I think that looked tasty as the biggest plate of dessert you could imagine coming in. Look at that movement.
Yeah, the movement in on the fists there of Ryan Terrio.
It's fun to watch him work.
Beat him again with a fastball.
That one he just beat him. That was right down the middle.
One of his better fastballs of the night. That was 90 miles an hour on the radar gun.
In his brief time last year with Philadelphia, the average fastball for Lopez was about 88 miles an hour. Highest in his career he's ever been is 91 average fastball. That went in on the hands, and it's plugging the line. Oh, he got it done.
Pretty impressive. Makes you wonder if that'll be all for Rodrigo Lopez. And if that's the case, boy, was that impressive. Yep, Cy Young.
Enjoy your flight.
Ought to be a bag on a Southwest Airlines flight. Bags get to go backstage and see all kinds of stuff. Like this guy. They get their picture taken. Then they get to go outside where the planes are. Bags have it made. Except on other airlines where they charge up to $120 round trip. That makes bags cry. Grab your bag. It's on.
Hey, buddy. What are those?
They're zeros.
What are they for?
They're for the thing. Really big thing?
Oh, right. The big thing. Where am I going to put them?
You can put them in front.
For the first time ever, lease a Honda Accord for 0 down payment and 0 due at signing.
It's called the really big thing, only at your Honda dealer.
In the major leagues, I get the job done in a major way. Up, this one is a home run. It's my time to shine. Been waiting all night. They think you're strong, but he threw it just right.
It's the D-backs and Padres on opening day. Monday at 1 on Fox Sports Arizona.
Good fun being had at the ballpark. Don't forget, it's not too late to make plans to attend Diamondbacks opening day. Standing room only left. Take the afternoon off this Monday. Game time's at 2 o'clock. All fans get an opening day lanyard, courtesy of our good friends with Gila River Casinos. 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com. Just about done, so come Tuesday night. I mean, we love to have you out here Tuesday night. Opening day is filling up, continuing to fill and fill and fill. That's opening night. Tuesday night is opening night, the first night game. Justin Upton drives deep right field off the end of the bat. Did not get all of it. That one is hauled in out there by Colvin, who is now in right field. Ex-Nady has moved in to play some first base. There's the Amica hit zone. He's in about the 302 zone as he is erased. One and 0 the count to LaRoche. Jeff Baker is in left field.
They call him the home run maker.
Yes, they do, and that's one of the better nicknames.
Oh, it is.
Right field, as we mentioned, Colvin moves over. Nady is now at first. That one runs in.
Just missed him. 3-0. That's what you try to do to Adam LaRoche. He likes to get his arms extended. And when he does get extended, he can hit it a long, long ways.
LaRoche draws the walk. Let's kick it on down.
That is his second walk
How about
of
that?
the spring.
Jody Jackson joins us talking about the work of Rodrigo Lopez. Jody?
Well, guys, as you can imagine, when Rodrigo Lopez went back into the dugout, congratulations from many of his teammates for his fine outing tonight. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits as he works his way into going deeper into games. Talking after with Miguel Montero and pitching coach Mel Stoudemire Jr. And, you know, in talking to coaches about Lopez, you use the word crafty sometimes now, and that's a word you hear a lot when guys don't throw very hard, but how important is that, guys, to be crafty and know how to pitch?
Well, that's all of it, right?
Yeah, I think it's all these guys have good stuff, Jody. It's a matter, like you said, craftiness is a guy that has the ability to get you out 3 different ways. You get hitters out in and out, up and down, fast and slow. And Rodrigo Lopez did all of those tonight, all 3. Some pitchers don't have the ability to pitch up in the zone. Some don't like to pitch in. They like to stay on the outside part. And some guys don't have very good off-speed pitches or whatnot. But tonight, Rodrigo Lopez was crafty because he was able to do all of what I just talked about.
Mark Reynolds on the ground. Chad Tracy shoots it on across. Fulton on the first to Nady. That is a double play. Is he coming back to work, by the way? He's coming back out, Gracie. He is not clocked out yet.
Well,
good enough.
Has the state or federal government charged you with a crime? If so, chances are the prosecutor will be an experienced trial attorney. Can you afford not to have an experienced trial attorney by your side in the courtroom? At Phillips & Associates, our attorneys have more than 250 years of combined experience in criminal law, and we can set up an affordable payment plan. We believe that everyone deserves a second chance, so call us right now at 602-258-8888 to set up your free office visit.
On April 17th, join Fox Sports Arizona as we celebrate the legacy of Pat Tillman at the 6th annual Pats Run. 20,000 runners and walkers will participate in this 4.2-mile event, which benefits the Pat Tillman Foundation. The Pat Tillman Foundation supports the educational goals of veterans, active service members, and their direct dependents through the Tillman Military Scholarship Program. To register or volunteer, go to patsrun.com.
Are you ready to discover NASCAR Nation's next great superstar? It's Fast Track to Fame. Join hosts Michael Waltrip and Carissa Thompson as America's most unique performers cut loose each week and compete for their chance to become a star.
Are you guys ready for a good time?
It's the talent competition so wild, it can only happen trackside. Catch an all-new episode of Fast Track to Fame this Monday on Speed.
3 days until opening day.
Gerardo Parra's in right field. That means Justin Upton is done for the night. Justin joins us down in the Diamondbacks dugout. For you, Jay Up, I would imagine nice to be back in the big yard, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we've been working hard down there in Tucson, and the guys are just ready to get back up here and get the season started.
You spent a lot of time with Bo Porter. Tell us a little bit about what Bro's brought to your game so far this spring.
It's a sense of comfort. I mean, we, as an outfield, it's got to be a unit, and working well together is a big part of it, and knowing the game situations and helping each other out. And he's really been big on putting it together and really working together in the outfield.
Talk to us about Rodrigo Lopez playing behind this tonight. It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, he's dealing tonight. I mean, he's pounding the zone, which the defenders we like. We love when he's pounding the zone and keeping us on our toes. So he's done well tonight, and he's been fooling the batters a little bit.
Justin, I know you mentioned a number, and you guys set standards, not necessarily goals. And I know Bo Porter's big on that word, standards. But you talked about 100 RBIs recently. That would be a special number to reach. You know what that means? That means you're able to stay healthy all year. That's a big part of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, staying on the field is the biggest part, and working with our training staff and our string staff, that helps us out as players to know what we have to do to play, be ready for 162.
And what is it, Justin, that as a squad you have to do, as that one's grounded to second base? Rodrigo Lopez continues to dominate. What is it as a squad that you feel that you guys need to improve on? It was a last place finish last year. What do you guys need to get back to the top?
Yeah, well, I think we have all the talent we need here, and we just have to step up as a team and have a certain demeanor about us. We flaked a lot last year, where guys were in their own mind and in their own heads, and this year we really have to look at the big picture, that look where we're trying to get, and have a certain swagger about us that that we have that edge on the field.
You look at young Starlin Castro in that box, Justin Upton, a couple of years ago. You were that guy, the up-and-coming prospect. We almost giggle up here. Though you're 22, you're a 22-year-old veteran.
I think he's a veteran. I consider you a veteran.
Oh man, it's that's the exciting part. And then once you get here, the goal is to stay here, and you learn along the way to carry yourself. And I've had a few mentors in the past, Orlando Hudson and Tony Clark, that kind of taught me that, and I tend to, I'm going to try to carry that on.
Justin, I sat in your press conference in Tucson, and I was about to ask the question, but you answered it yourself when they were talking about the great young players, the Mays that started their career, some of the legends with big numbers, and you immediately said, well, that's fine, because I want to be great. I want to have those standards. I want to play with those expectations.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you got to go about it. I mean, you always want to get better, and that's my goal, is to get to the level where people see me as a great player, and to get there, obviously you have to work hard, and that's what I plan on doing.
Hey, Justin, you had a rough spring last year, a really tough spring. You ended up having a terrific season. You have had a monster spring this year. So let's hope you have another terrific season. What's been the difference in your opinion?
Well, there's you know, the vibe in the clubhouse was totally different. I'll tell you that. You know, guys came out ready to play, and then you know, on top of that, just trying to get into a routine that keeps me sharp, and you know, build it on that in the spring, which, you know, hopefully you can carry on into the season.
Hey, Justin, listen, we really appreciate it. Want to wish you the best of luck. Thanks for sharing some time with us. Go get him.
Yeah, go give Rodrigo some high fives, okay, kid?
All right.
Good luck. Yeah.
Rodrigo Lopez, a fabulous effort. They take the baseball from him. He has counted up enough pitches, and thanks to folks, says, I'm here to stay.
Clap for him, folks. Clap for him.
Enjoy your flight.
To be a bag on a Southwest Airlines flight. Bags get to go backstage and see all kinds of stuff. Like this guy. They get their picture taken. Then they get to go outside where the planes are. Bags have it made. Except on other airlines where they charge up to $120 round trip. That makes bags cry. Grab your bag. It's on.
I'm the IT network engineer. I enjoy being challenged and not having a mundane job where I go in every day, punch the clock, and do the same thing. Before going to ITT Tech, things were very much a struggle from a day-to-day perspective, and since then, my life has gotten a lot better. My children are the most influential part of my life. I'm here to take care of them. I want to give them a better life than I had. Before I went to school, I had to work more than one job just to make ends meet. Just going back to school in general was huge for me. I was able to find my calling.
We are educators helping people build a foundation for the rest of their lives. ITT Technical Institute, education for the future. Call 1-800-942-0088 or visit us on the web. Get an education that can help you reach your goals. ITT Tech has information on financial aid for those who qualify. Call 1-800-942-0088.
6 2/3 innings of shutout baseball. The incredible spring and maybe chapter 1 of what has been an incredible story as a Diamondback, Rodrigo Lopez. Now, when it counts, he appears to be ready.
Well, he's been ready all spring, Darren. This is just one of the many long line of good outings ever since he's worn a D-back uniform. It's been beyond impressive, and it just the apex was tonight.
Fun to watch. As we talked about, command was impeccable, just the one walk. Everything moved.
It was fun to watch.
Leo Rosales, who has really kind of cemented himself a solid spot in this Diamondbacks bullpen. A good changeup. Earned himself more and more important innings last year, and now you don't say, well, and there's Leo Rosales. He's on that list permanently and deserves to be.
Well, he's a guy that can get left-handed hitters out. He's up there against former Diamondback Chad Tracy right now. He's got a fastball that he can locate in and out, and then he's also got one of the better changeups in the game, Darren. But it's just a matter of getting his reps and a matter of getting consistent mound time. Sometimes there would be 2 weeks in between outings for Leo Rosales.
Tell you what, he's thrown 2 fastballs at 93. Last year, the average fastball he threw was 90. And you talk about that changeup. He throws his changeup about a third of the time. That's how often you'll see it. And I think when you throw your changeup that much, a third of the time, your fastball can almost serve as your changeup. You surprise hitters. They start looking for it. That's on the ground. There's the changeup. That was up out over the plate. And that's a base hit for Big Red. As Gracie used to call him, Chad Tracy.
That's one of my favorite nicknames. And that's what he can do. He can just get something, finally a mistake. He got something he can handle. And just rifle it up the box past a sprawling Kelly Johnson.
So Tracy is at first, over at third, by the way, defensively for the Diamondbacks is Rusty Ryle.
Starting to get the wholesale changes. There's the change up to jump ahead of Xavier Nady.
There's Rusty.
Got the Chris Sabo look going. Remember him?
I do remember him. Had those goggles.
I tell you what, it's going to be tough for me to have him go to AAA. He's had a great spring. The boy can hit. Flat out.
And he's agonized over it. The man out there behind him in left field, Ryan Roberts, A.J. Hinch, had meetings this afternoon in which players were discussed, decisions. And coaches weigh in, front office staff that are baseball ops folks weigh in, and they decide what they want to do, how they want to build their team.
Right.
And that man used to hold the fate of minor leaguers. Now he holds the fate of major leaguers. Mitch Riggins, by the way, our director in midseason form, with a triple box a moment ago. And fires it on across in time for the out. Decisions being made. I would imagine a lot of sleepless next couple of nights.
When the earth starts to rumble in these parts, it can only mean one thing. It's a stampede of savings during Ford Truck Month. Get the best deals of the year on a big old herd of the best-selling trucks in America. Like F-150, now with up to $6,000 cash back. Or Ford Super Duty, now with $7,200 cash back. This is a stampede of savings, and it's going on now during Truck Month at your Arizona Ford dealers.
Here's Ronnie. Isn't he great?
So you want to marry my daughter, huh? I'll pay for the room, sir. I'll get these. Cocktail? Sunscreen? Latte?
You can afford to make a good impression. Laughlin, Nevada. It's like you own the place.
Serving businesses across every industry, eSquared is your partner and single source for telecommunications and information technology solutions. eSquared can help you reel in your wireless costs by explaining carriers' complex pricing structures, reviewing and monitoring your monthly billing statements, and ensuring that you're receiving competitive pricing for your service. Doing business in Arizona since 2001. Call eSquared today to schedule a free review of your business wireless plans. And if we can't help you, we'll buy you lunch. eSquared Communications, 602-371-1500.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field getting ready for Diamondbacks Live, the post-game show. Jody Jackson on the field in the clubhouse. We'll check in with Darren Sutton and Mark Grace. But Joe Borowski, as we begin the show coming up in just a bit, I presume we'll start talking about the starting pitcher, Rodrigo Lopez. What did you see?
I don't know if that was Rodrigo Lopez or Cy Lopez, but he pitched. He flat out pitched. Went out there, changed speeds, located, and I'll tell you what, if that's the final tune-up for the regular season, looks good.
We'll break it down. Diamondbacks Live, the post-game show. Darren, I've never done one of these. I can't find the clutch. we'll get it on the tracks, okay?
Oh, Todd, I'm telling you.
I love it.
Very good stuff. Cy Lopez, he called him.
I told you. I said it a couple of times. He's going to win the Cy Young Award this year.
Well, I'll take 33 starts, my friend.
I'm teasing, close.
You start thinking about the needs, though. You figure maybe 32 starts for Dan Herron and Edwin Jackson. That's 64. 25, maybe 20-ish from Ian Kennedy. You're going to have to manage him. He had an aneurysm last year. You can't push him as far as others. So now you have the likes of Lopez and Benson and Augenstein and Buckner and someone else maybe newly acquired that have to account for about 80 starts. 80. So
that's a lot of starts. It's a lot of innings.
There's Ian Kennedy sitting next to Aaron Heilman, the product of USC, sitting next to the Notre Dame product. Heilman, Midwesterner, went to Notre Dame. Ian Kennedy, if you're looking at your screen on the right, went to USC. Yankee, former Yankee. And there's Edwin Jackson. Military brat, they call him. Traveled the world with his father. Born in Germany. Did a lot of his growing up in Georgia. his father served our country for his entire childhood. And we're excited to have him in town as well.
He's a good one.
He made his major league debut here on his 20th birthday and beat Randy Johnson.
Beat Randy Johnson. And that was about his only highlight with the Dodgers. Just didn't work out with the Dodgers, but did some good things in Tampa. Then moved to Detroit. Did some really good things. Made the All-Star team last year for the American League.
Ian Kennedy's first big league win with the Yankees was against Tampa when he beat Edwin Jackson. There's that one. Nice at bat by Miguel Montero. Boy, I know a lot of you folks have really been mulling over this trivia question. Thinking about it, you probably called friends. See, there you go. After Mark Reynolds' 44 homers, which 3 D-backs hit the most home runs last season? Justin and Miguel Montero. Chris Young. John Hester is pitch running at first base for Miggy. Hester, the Stanford product. In all likelihood, starts the season in AAA Reno, where he will work a lot. Chris Young drops down a bunt, hugging the first base line, picked up, foul. Was speaking with Chris Young before the game about increasing that stolen base total, and he answered, you know, the one way I can increase my stolen base total? Get to first base more often.
Doggone right. That's the simple answer.
And that's one way he plans on doing it. This is a Diamondbacks team that has been in the bottom of the major leagues the last 2 years in bunting for base hits.
Well, that's the thing. Most of these guys came up as big prospects, power prospects. You know, in the minor leagues, you know, you don't bump your way to the major leagues. You hit your way to the major leagues. But now that you're here, well, if you can open up some new strengths or work on enough things.
No balls and 2 strikes to count. Outside. Last year in the National League, the league average club had 19 bunts for base hits. Diamondbacks had 10. 2 bashing, slugging teams had fewer, the Phillies and the Brewers.
Yeah. Yeah, you get with the Phillies and Brewers. Nice play right there by Hester. Not a speedy guy by any means. I mean, he's a big old catcher. But he saw that ball in the dirt and he immediately took off. Watch the jump. It's in the dirt, gone. That ball hardly got away at all from Coy Hill, former Diamondback. But still, Hester was easily to second base. That's just good heads-up base running, Darren.
Conversation. James Russell has visited. They will talk about it. Chris Young had 1 bunt for a base hit last year. Obviously, this is not what we're looking for now, just finishing the thought. Fouls that one back. Down below us, it'll be a souvenir.
Got a mistake there, a hanging slider. Took a good rip at it and just fouled it straight back. I'd love to see Chris Young hit the top of that baseball a little more often this year, Darren.
It's interesting how aware these players are when you speak with them, whether it's in spring training or in the case of an interview we were able to do with him today.
Tell you, the head stays nice and still.
Two and two the count.
Less movement is a good thing as a hitter. It's called staying quiet.
quietly drives that one to center field. Golden has played all 3 outfield positions, as he will do as it comes this season, as promised by Lou Piniella. In center, he hauls that one in. Hester moves up to third.
Nice job by Chris Young on getting a pitch he can handle, something he can drive deep to the big part of the park. And good base running, heads up base running there again by John Hester, going back to the bag and tagging up, getting to third. Now that forces the infield, the Cub infield, to come in. That's going to give Kelly Johnson a big opportunity to add an insurance run.
Pitch is high and away. But to finish the thought on Young, in our conversation we were talking about why throughout his career he has hit more successfully ground ball pitchers. He just has. Greg Maddux has hit very well. Guys that throw ground balls, even like Aaron Cook, pickoff throw, he got back in there. Aaron Cook is a guy that Young has hit. And I said, why do you think that is, Chris? And he said, you know, honestly, Darren, he said, I've been hitting the bottom side of too many baseballs. I think with pitchers like that, I think I hit the top half, and I need to do
around
that
the knees
more.
Yeah, exactly.
But very aware. It's refreshing to hear that answer.
Wow. That pitch looked about 9 to 10 inches outside. It was a strike.
We kiddingly say it up here, but it's true about Gracie that it's not guesswork. I mean, you learn when you talk to these guys, you really start talking about either numbers or approach. It's not guesswork for them either.
Well, he may have a play at the plate here.
Jeff Baker makes the play. Here comes John Hester. His tour around the bases is over. He just earned that run.
That's a run scored without the benefit of a hit, folks. A leadoff walk. Good base running to get to second base on a wild pitch. More heads up base running to tag up and go to third on an out. And scoring on an out. That's good fundamental baseball, and that makes managers very, very pleased.
Not a good throw at all by Baker. It does make managers pleased, but that manager will tell you, expect a lot of that. That's not something they will celebrate for very long. We saw a lot of the opposite last year. It has been expected that we will see very little of that this year. Johnson taking advantage. Hester earning him that stake. You buy a man a stake for coming around like that for
Right on right. If you're Kelly Johnson, you hit a shallow fly ball to left and you get an RBI out of it, you're thrilled. Chad Tracy, nice play from the former Diamondback to get Rusty Ryle. I'll take this, Darren. We're going to go to the top of the 8th inning. Kelly Johnson just got himself an RBI. We'll be right back.
When I bought Goldie, I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. Until I found that pair of red sunglasses. I thought that was the best dollar I ever spent. But today, I wanted to try something off McDonald's dollar menu. With so much to choose from, I contemplated all my options and finally went in for the 100% beefy melty McDouble. I thought it was the best dollar I ever spent. And I know a thing or two about the value of a dollar.
As long as we're winding up our doing dials, let's wind them with precision. Open our throttle to even more selection and turn that savings swagger a full tilt. So when the time comes to bust open a can of doing, we've got all the tools for all the things we need to make them happen. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, get Scott's Naturescapes mulch for the new lower price of just $3.88.
At some point, a car ceases to be just a car and becomes an old friend. And no one cares for your friend like your local AMCO guys. Our technicians are experts in everything from tune-ups to transmissions. So if your transmission is slipping, bring your old friend into AMCO. People who know, call 1-800-GO-AMCO.
Call AMCO now for their transmission tune-up service. Now only $29.95.
AA MCO.
The Phoenix Coyotes continue their quest for the top spot in the Western Conference. They'll look to pick up another 2 valuable points as they face off against the Edmonton Oilers. Saturday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Arizona.
Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com, grab your bag. It is on, and by the Home Depot. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot. More doing. Usually those that work around their house get up early, and they do a lot of work like that man. Miguel Montero got up early every morning in spring, Miggy. You were out working on your throwing. How nice was it back home at Chase Field to see a solid throw gunning down a base run? I bet it made you feel good.
Yeah, I did. It feels really good, actually.
Take us a step further. You and I talked in depth, and it's an interview we'll air over the next few weeks. But what are some of the things you worked on with Glenn Sherlock?
I mean, we're working a lot of defense, footwork exchange, and a lot of blocks. But, you know, mostly was throwing to the bases, footwork and exchange.
And Miguel, you were on the receiving end of a lot of really good pitches from Rodrigo Lopez tonight. Tell us a little bit about Rodrigo.
I mean, he got ahead in the count pretty much the whole time, and he worked fast. I think he's a pretty solid pitcher, and it was a good accusation for us. And, you know, what can I say? You know, he threw a pretty good game.
What do you think his strengths are? Is it his command? Is it his pitch selection? What do you think he brings his best strength is?
I mean, he kept the ball down, period. You know, he kept the ball down. He worked ahead in the count, and you know, he's a guy who competes. He goes out there, and you see him competing every pitch.
2-2 the count. We're chatting with Miguel Montero. We're going to show the folks at home again the beautiful throw by Miggy as he
I want to see it.
gunned down earlier today.
Take a look at this. That's as good as it gets right there, Miguel.
I have no TV here.
You got no TV? You can't see your highlight? Oh man, we got to work on
good.
We got to work on getting a monitor down there for Miguel.
Yeah, I got to watch it in there.
It looked very, very good. 3-2 the count. No, it was fun, I know, to see for you. The other part of what Gracie's talking about is the working with the pitchers. I mean, Rodrigo we saw tonight. After you and I talked earlier today, then I sat down with Danny Herron for about 20 minutes, and he said he's blown away with how far you've come as a catcher. Are you proud of how much you've learned in the last year as a catcher?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm working hard, and you know, I'm not going to stop working. I want to get better and better every day, you know, and I feel really good about, you know, when the pitchers talk good about me.
To right field, off the mound of Fukunaga. He gets out of here. He will touch a ball. As we tell you the score is now 3-1. The Diamondbacks lead the Cubs. For Fukudome against Leo Rosales. A home run from the left side, Miguel Montero. That's something you were able to do a lot last year, is drive the ball out all over the ballpark. Offensively, was it just, Miggy, was it just as simple as playing every day for you?
Yeah, it was like that. You know, I played every day. I see pitches every day. And, you know, you got time to make adjustments.
That one is belted to center field. That one is off the wall. Is this the point, Miggy, when you might go talk to your pitcher here?
Yeah. It's a good time to go talk to him. We're going to little bit the breather right now. And, you know, it's nothing happening right now.
What would you say to Leo in Spanish right now? What would you go out and tell him in Spanish?
You want me to say it in Spanish?
Yeah, say it in Spanish for us.
Oh, no,
because Leo speaks perfect Spanish as well, so
yeah.
I just figure.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know, just take a little breather, make it a better pitch.
Rosales out there. You will help translate some for us this year, right? With some of our guys?
Pretty much every guy, man.
Yeah?
Pretty much all the guys. Abreu, the new guy, we got to try to translate for him too. Tara, Norberto speak pretty good English. Who else? I don't know.
Yeah, Rodrigo's fine.
Yeah, Rodrigo's fine.
Well, here's the thing. You know, you need to keep the heat on him. You need to tell him, look, when I was in the minor leagues, I taught myself English, right?
Yeah.
His English is great.
That was the only way, man. I go out there, get something to eat. That was the only way to learn. And I went to Missoula. Nobody speaks Spanish out there.
There's no Spanish in Missoula, Montana.
Yeah.
Really, that's so surprising.
But it was a good times.
Bill Plummer back then, right?
No, actually it was Jack Howell, the manager.
Jack Howell. We've heard about him.
Yeah, it's right here.
The manager down in the minor leagues. It was, I would imagine, an amazing experience.
It's right
you.
here, right next to me.
Right here.
No, you're my manager in rookie ball.
Very good stuff. How about this interactivity? That's got to be a lot of fun. Hey, your manager is a guy that kind of was a guy who believed in you all through the minor leagues. Talk about your relationship with AJ at this point.
I mean, it's been outstanding, you know, especially give me the opportunity to play last year, and I took advantage of it. And, you know, he's a great guy. He's been helping me a lot, too, in the spring training, working on my defense, my throwing program. And, you know, we talk a lot about pitching selection, catching, throwing, all that kind of stuff.
By the way, good job on that visit to the mound you just had with Leo. He's calmed down a little bit more now.
Yeah, it's going to get better now.
Good meeting.
Good meeting.
Very, very good meeting. Then there's the other thing that I think people are uncomfortable to ask you about, but you're fine to talk about it. It's the relationship of the guy you catch with and Chris Snyder. You guys have been together forever and ever. You're not rivals, you're teammates, correct?
Yeah, you know, we talk about all the time about pitchings. And if you catch or I catch, we talk about, we go to the meeting together. And we got to help each other out.
3-1 the score. Miguel Montero joining us. Runner at third, and that one is high and away. Tell us about your travels around the world this winter.
Oh, man, it was unbelievable. Got broke, actually.
Did you? That's all right. You're back this year. You're back on the payroll.
Yeah, you got a raise.
Yeah, I got a little raise.
So where'd you go?
I went everywhere, man. I went to Bora Bora, Tahiti, Madrid, Barcelona, Amsterdam, Rome, Florence, Venice, Paris. I went a couple of places.
My goodness.
Canarian Islands.
What winter ball team was that?
Actually, it was with my wife. Just travel all over the world.
That's the only winter ball team you need there, big boy.
It was fun. It was a good time.
Best food was where?
Well, you know what? I like the Spanish food in Spain. It was great. But I like the pizza in Rome. It was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like that much of food in Paris, Amsterdam. It was okay.
Broke his bat. That one comes to line. Heads down into the corner. Bobbled for just a moment. Roberts shoots it back in. Colvin continues what has been an incredible spring, hitting about 500, this young man. Hey, Miguel. We want to thank you for coming on with us, my friend.
Hey, good luck this year, kid.
Thank you.
Go get it. Miguel Montero, world traveler, food connoisseur. There are other channels that he could pitch his television show. We don't, promote other channels where they talk about traveling. Rosales.
I'll tell you what, he's given a lot of wives out there a lot of serious ammo.
Yeah, you bet.
I mean, man, why can't you be more like Miguel?
All you are is just a Bora Bora husband.
Yeah. I need Amsterdam. I need Rome. Barcelona.
Crime is a part of our daily reality. Fortunately, there are professionals dedicated to the pursuit of justice. The ITT Technical Institute School of Criminal Justice offers a program that emphasizes theory, research, and practice in the study of criminal justice. This program offers students a foundation in criminal law, legal procedures, criminal evidence, and criminology. Graduates can pursue career opportunities involving cybersecurity, community corrections, and private investigations. Why wait any longer? Call now and help make this a safer and better place. ITT Technical Institute School of Criminal Justice, education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-942-0088 or visit us on the web.
Thousands of people send their documents online to the UPS store, and thousands more bring them in to our printing experts. With more than 4,300 convenient locations, we're the nation's largest printing network. So put our printing crew to work for you at the UPS store. We do a lot more than shipping.
Glad to have you back at the ballpark. 3-2 the score. Mark Reynolds home run, the reason the Diamondbacks are clinging to our lead. Time now for our Chaz Roberts air conditioning. Cool play of the game brought to you by our good friends with Chaz Roberts. And no low five, no high five, no body slam, fist bump, knuckles from Matt Williams as he passed by.
No. He'll shake his hand after the game.
Juan Gutierrez takes the baseball.
Been a tough spring for Juan.
It has. He gave up a hit at one point. It was last year, as that one is low. No hits allowed. As a matter of fact, the lone hits allowed in minor league camp when he went to get some work in a minor league game. Guys that are headed off to cities that, well, some of you have never heard of. The only guys that got hits against him this spring. I mean, he has more stripes than he gave up hits this year.
That's nuts.
I like that.
See, you would like that. You would like that. You know what? That would look good on Matt Williams, don't you think? So I don't think he could grow that.
That's a very good point. You have to first have hair to put stripes in those hairs. You know, the helmet, which has been required by baseball for good and safe reasons, it suits Matt so well, he keeps it on the bench. Doesn't it suit him? You know, the hands, well, there's that first hit. The throw to the plate. High off the mound, moving all the way up.
Well, he gave up a hit. And we got a tie ball game.
It is tied up. Coleman comes around to score.
Fastball down the middle, ripped. Parra with a great throwing arm. He gets a bad break because the ball hits the back of the mound. Karam straight up, and there's no play. Not second base either. So now, Cubs with an opportunity, a big opportunity to take the lead here late in the ball game.
It's James Zaducci. Jeff Baker, the tie score maker, is out there at second base. The 1-0. Good fastball, but it runs in. Well, Gutierrez a season ago worked his way in the end when Chad Qualls was injured into that closer's role and was fabulous. The guy that gained more confidence in himself. Guy that has become a very important part of this bullpen as that one dives low. And a guy that, when it's all said and done, really helped to solidify the trade that sent Jose Valverde to Houston. And Gutierrez and Qualls back.
Qualls came over. Two dependable right-handers in late innings.
Things like control and being able to handle things financially for a little bit more time, as that one is in on the hands, lifted in the left field. And Roberts is there, and he hauls it in.
Nice jump on the ball there from Roberts. Not an outfielder or natural outfielder, but if he's going to make this ball club, he's going to have to be. He's going to have to do a little bit of everything. He got a nice jump on that ball and made the play down the line.
2 outs for Starlin Castro, the #1 prospect in this Cubs organization. Fuel for excitement, no doubt about it, for Cubs fans. The man played in the Arizona Fall League, in the Rising Stars game in the Arizona Fall League.
I love it when you go to the media guide.
Baseball America Prospect Handbook.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you bet.
I love it. Ooh.
Fastball bores in.
Well, if he's going to... Yeah, probably in the Future Stars game, they didn't see 94 running in on your hands like that, did they?
They did. I was there.
No.
0-2 the count. He's got a slider to go along with. There it is. Bobbles it, recovers, gets all panicked, and throws in time for the out. I think that was an angry Juan Gutierrez. Not a calm, cool, and collected one. But we found out he is human as he picks up his mate.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I
think our new turkey bacon cheddar grilled sandwich is the best.
And I think our grilled deli trio is the best.
But the turkey bacon cheddar has roasted turkey, cheddar cheese, and bacon on toasted artisan bread.
Yeah, but the deli trio has salami, sliced ham, roasted turkey, provolone cheese, and pickles on toasted artisan bread.
This is the worst commercial I've ever been in.
We could kiss.
The energy drink for your feet. With ZigTech, I get more train, less pain.
Want to stay in touch with the latest happenings on Fox Sports Arizona? Well, now you can stay connected with us at all times. Follow us on Twitter as we keep you up to date with all the late-breaking news and information you need to know about. You can also find us on Facebook by becoming a fan of Fox Sports Arizona. Watch video clips of our latest shows and stay in the know about Fox Sports Arizona programming. Log on and check us out on Twitter and Facebook.
Join the D-backs for Family Fridays all season long. $20 gets you a game ticket, $10 in food and merchandise credit, and a ticket to Sea Life, Arizona. Plus, Select Friday nights offer a post-game. Wow, Select Friday nights offer a post-game fireworks show.
Oh, you bet.
Courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Friday.
Well done.
Thank you.
Very, very solid read.
Fireworks shows. Those are big ones.
Pitches in. Mitch Atkins. Thank you, Kurt Zacher. The right-hander. Parra, it's gobbled up there at first and to the bag in time for the out. X-Nady. I want to remind everyone that anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell again is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day.
Nice. Looking forward to that.
Now batting shortstop, Tony Abreu.
6 Diamondbacks runs, though, not 6 runs total as have been scored tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tony Abreu. Abreu, last July, was acquired in the trade with the Los Angeles Dodgers once it was all agreed upon and they put the deal together. Has always been a hitter all throughout the minor leagues. This time Abreu is erased on a ground out, has had a big spring. And he is part of a trio being decided upon for 2 spots. Ryan Roberts again. Now these are spring training numbers. Ryan Roberts earned the check by his box with a great season last year in the major leagues, and that needs to be duly noted. Either one of the 2 on the right can say the same, but they both can say, the 2 on the right, that they did have good solid springs. Abreu's walked just once.
And as you said, Tony Abreu with the Dodger organization hit everywhere he went.
Oh, you bet.
It's just a matter of keeping him healthy, and that's been the problem in his career.
Veteran Jeff Bailey, another guy who for a while appeared to be a guy that would get a chance to make the bench. He will be someone that Josh Burns and his crew keep an eye on as he slugs him down in AAA. Breaking ball dives down and away.
He's had his fair share of minor league days, hasn't he?
You bet. 31 years old. Began playing professionally in 1997. Has played in more than 1,100 minor league games.
You just can't help but root for a guy like this, Darren.
I would agree.
You just can't help it.
Had very small sips of coffee in the big leagues with Boston on a couple of occasions. 56 overall games in the big leagues. 27 homers as a pro 2 years ago. In 06, 22 homers as a pro.
3-2 breaking ball with 2 outs. Nobody on.
A little bit more on Jeff Bailey. Let's bring back in Jody Jackson. Jody?
Well, Darren, I talked to Jeff today about the way he's been hitting the ball this spring, and he said he just thinks he's getting better. Even after all these years, he knows more on how to work. Doesn't worry so much about his mechanics, more on the mental side. He uses video more, does the homework on the pitchers, and told me kind of a funny story when he was with the Red Sox last year. Going into Yankee Stadium, he wore jeans and a T-shirt, and they actually would not let him in. You know, he didn't have his player card, and so finally they did let him in, but he said they were still skeptical.
Skeptical all the time. Thank you, Jody.
They're always skeptical of those Red Sox in Yankee Stadium, aren't they?
There's no doubt about it. They'll do that. That's why veterans like Gracie will say, hey, put some slacks on, they'll let you in.
Yeah, they probably didn't let Big Papi in either. Get out of here.
1-0 to Ryan Roberts. Roberts gives it a ride, deep left field, trying to make one last loud statement. The decision is yours, sir. The decision is yours.
I'm glad it's not mine, Darren Sutton. The 3-2 breaking ball to Bailey misses the very next hitter. Long ball. Fastball middle. Ryan Roberts just leans on it. Watch him lean back, son. Got extended, and that was all she wrote.
Driven to right field up from minor league camp. And the play is made out there. Young outfielder Deeds up from minor league camp. Not Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds.
No,
What a great movie.
Not Mr. Deeds.
Oh, I love that Butler.
Doug
He was everywhere.
Doug Deeds out of Ohio State University. Ryan Roberts making a big, loud statement. Mr. Deeds!
Let me get this straight. $25 for your first bag?
Up to $35 for the second bag.
That'll add up to
$120 round trip.
That's just not right.
Not my money.
$120 and a packet for you.
No, it's not easy to save with 3 grown boys.
Not just 3 boys, triplets.
3 cheeseburgers with fries, 3 football uniforms.
Guys, just take turns. Everybody get a chance to lean back.
3 college
education. We showed the Mitchells online tools that come free with their Wells Fargo checking account. Could help them manage their expenses and save automatically. Times 3.
There you see, he's a 4th triplet.
Wells Fargo, with you when expenses come in 3s.
Hey, buddy, what are those?
Your zeros.
What are they for?
They're for the thing. Really big thing?
Oh, right. The big thing. Where am I going to put them?
You can put them in front.
For the first time ever, lease a Honda Civic for 0 down payment and 0 due at signing.
It's called the really big thing, only at your Honda dealer.
Blimpie game summary. Ryan Roberts saying, if you've made up your mind already and you've made it up in the negative towards my career, I'm going to do everything I can to change your mind. That kind of sums up his professional career. Really.
He is a much needed burst of energy. Put him anywhere, he's going to give you every ounce, 100% of his heart and soul.
Chad Qualls takes over. He was unable, as that pitch misses low, to give his heart and soul, or that right arm, or the knee for that matter, as he went down last season. Tracy, sinker away, lifted into left field. Ryan is there to put it away. Hey, don't forget What's Brewing, brought to you by our good friends with Miller Lite. Ton of fun events and promotions all season long. Visit Sliders on Friday nights for post games with Miller Lite specials and great prizes. Celebrating opening day at Coach and Willie's with a pregame party. Our good friends Doug and Wolf will be out there.
Good friends of the show. Well, they do a great job, don't they?
They do a fabulous job. That Paul Calvisi I'm concerned about. But Doug and Wolf, they're big league.
Basin Onions.
There you see the numbers overall for Chad Qualls. Out front, Xavier Nady, Abreu back.
All you.
Gerardo Parra puts that one away. 2 outs and 1 out for a victory. Qualls, his last 5 seasons, has pitched a year's worth of games. 365 appearances.
Right fielder, Kosuke Fukunobe.
As a matter of fact, when he went down, you bet, Gracie, he's so prideful that when he went down with that knee injury, he thought, well, maybe, just maybe, they can kind of keep me off to the side and not put me on the DL. Let me just kind of, right around September 1st, we're calling up guys. He hated going on the DL. He didn't break down. He had a freak injury.
Yeah,
he hated it.
Dislocated a kneecap.
For him, the disabled list, horrible, horrible word in his life, and he hated it. So he prides himself, even as a closer now, of pitching whenever you need it. One and one. Post-game show, by the way, coming up after this. Oh, you bet.
Huh?
You bet. Post-game coverage. West Diamondbacks Live. Todd Walsh, Joe Borowski.
A little more of Walsh and Borowski.
Can't get enough of it.
Nice.
Fouled off and into the seats it goes. Who will hit? Who will pitch? Where will they be? Who will make the team? A.J. Hinch. Player reaction. Derek Hall stopping by. And we'll see if we have some roster updates as well. Who will quite possibly be going to Reno and staying here. 2-2. Nice job, Hester, keeping it with him. Gracie and I will offer our thoughts as well. And that man will have an awful lot to say. Ultimately, it's his decision.
Yeah.
Josh Burns.
Some livelihoods hang in the balance.
Full count, 2 outs. Line drive, center field. Parra is there. Diving play to end the ball game. How about that effort to end things?
An impressive way to end an impressive game here by the Diamondbacks. Just enough hitting. Rodrigo Lopez was brilliant. And look at Gerardo Parra. Selling it out to end the ball game.
Parra will be needed. He has played a lot of center field in case Chris Young does scuffle against tough right-handed pitchers. And he does a nice job making the play there. The Diamondbacks win it. Some big home runs. It's Roberts' home run that is the decisive one. Now, decisions being made on his career. We'll talk about that and more as the Diamondbacks win it by a score of 5-3. And, of course, our coverage just continues. It rolls on. Joe and Todd, and I heard even Derek out there. Go ahead and roll the open.
High drama here at Chase Field, appropriately enough, on this Friday night. Quest Diamondbacks Live is officially underway. 5-3 final. Diamondbacks squander a 3-0 lead, but come up with a big 2-run home run to win the game 5-3 over the Cubs. And Todd Walsh along with Joe Borowski hanging out here in right center field. But first things first, let's go right down on the field. Jody Jackson with the man of the hour. Jody, take it away.
Well, Ryan, no secret you're battling for a roster spot. What type of statement did you make with that game-winning home run?
I don't know, it's just much needed for me. Struggling all spring with my time, and getting that back and doing that was good for me. So I'm good with that.
You told me before the game that your timing was off all spring, but you had been feeling better the last couple of days at the plate. So certainly it's safe to say you were feeling pretty good on this home run.
Yeah. It's just that's how baseball goes. You have your ups and your downs, but like I said, I felt better the past week, and just fortunate enough to get a pitch to drive, and I was on time this time.
How much of a pressure situation is the game like tonight? Even though it's just a spring training game, but it's there will be decisions made on the roster.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, first of all, you always want to win. You take every game serious. So it's spring training, but still, it's coming down to the wire, and you want to get as many wins under your belt as you can before you start the season. So, I think it's good. I think it's good for the fans to come out and see that our team's going to be a lot better.
And I also talked about, the relationship between you and A.J. Hinch and all the communication that's been real open during this spring. How important has that been for you?
Huge. Being with a couple of different teams, it's the first manager that I felt like I could really go to and talk about anything, other than baseball too. Just a good guy, man, and real communicative with everybody, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's helped me a lot, and not only with baseball but other things too. So doors always open for him, and it's nice to have that.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Enjoy the win. Best of luck.
I will appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, guys, you heard it. Ryan Roberts came up big tonight with the win, the home run, and hopefully for him solidifying a roster spot.
Jody, thank you. More from Jody Jackson on the field and in the clubhouse a little bit later on in the show. Joe Borowski. This is how we hope it happens every night. The bridge from the pregame to the postgame. We talked about the battle for the final positions on the roster on the pregame show. We talked about Ryan Roberts, but the one thing we talked about specifically was the equity, if you will, that he had from the major league experience and the season he had a year ago. Did we just see that in a pressure situation, tie game late?
Precisely. You know what to expect from him. He came in there, the pressure didn't get to him. He knew he was in there to get a big hit. Came through with a big bomb.
Did he just seal the deal, do you think?
I would have to think so, wouldn't you?
That's how it works.
Come on, it's like writing your own script right there.
That's right. We might have news on that perhaps before we're off the air here tonight on the postgame show. Let's get to the other storyline, I think, of this game, Joe, and that's the starting pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Rodrigo Lopez, who was simply dealing, wasn't he?
Yeah, Rodrigo had it going from the start. Look at right there, just hitting his spots in and out, up and down, keeping the ball down when he needed it, keeping guys off balance. He was just working everything great. He was relaxed. He made the pitches when he needed to, and he was just dealing. Look at that changeup right there to strike out. Great hitter. He just had it going.
6 2/3, the 85 pitch count. Is that what you sort of expected from him?
Yeah, he looked like he was going strong. They probably stretched him out. He had 85, and they were able to get it to him, and he did it pretty easily.
There's your number 4 starter coming off Tommy John surgery. I heard Darren and Mark talking about a conversation they had with him during the game, which is that he finally feels good. You have experienced feeling good and not feeling good with a ball in your hands on the major league mound. What does that mean to a pitcher at this point coming off a surgery like that?
It's tough. I dealt with it the last 5 years of my career. And he had Tommy John in 07, sat out all of 08, and then tried coming back. And coming back